Hey, welcome back to the video. Today, we are going to be reacting to the, I'm assuming, final trailer for Rings of Power, Amazon Prime's new show that's going to be coming out in 1 week, September 2nd. So let's go ahead and get into it, and then we'll talk about it a little bit.
By we means me and Josh. I'm on the mic. All right, let's do this.
So let's go.
My brother gave his life hunting the enemy. His task is now mine. Stand with me. Ours was no chance meeting. Not fate. Nor destiny. What? Ours was the work of something greater.
Each of us, every one, must decide who we shall be.
I am not the hero you seek.
Whatever it was you did, be free of it.
One day this will be your kingdom.
Raise your sail and then let go.
Choose not the path of fear, but that of faith.
One thing we can do, better than any creature in all Middle-earth, we stay true to each other with our hearts even bigger in our feet.
We can survive this. You and I.
Commander! Wait! No! We keep moving!
Why do you keep fighting?
There is a tempest in me.
You have fought long enough, Galadriel. Put up your sword.
Without it, what am I to be?
Wait for it. Is there anything else?
No.
That's it.
Nothing else.
Okay.
One.
All right. What did you think?
Visually, it looks spectacular. I'm actually very excited for this show after this trailer. I've been so far in our journey, as a Lord of the Rings fan, been very skeptical of how the show's going to be.
What about this trailer made you more excited about it?
It looks good. It doesn't, at least this trailer, doesn't have this prime clean feel to it. That at least this trailer didn't look that way.
I noticed that, and
Yeah.
honestly, when I watched it, I was thinking, I wonder if they desaturated the footage a little bit.
Yeah.
It was like in between what they had or like what we saw in Wheel of Time and the actual Lord of the Rings Peter Jackson trilogy.
Yeah.
So it's like this middle ground where there's still colors there, but they're not as saturated to make it feel like dress up time.
Yeah, I mean, we if you listen to any of our stuff in the past, we had a big thing for Wheel of Time because of that it felt too clean. It didn't feel like you were in it. You didn't feel grungy I know this is HBO, but like Game of Thrones would have. This is grungy. And the movies are fantastic with doing that, but we were kind of fearful that that's how the show was going to be. But this looks awesome. I will say, I don't know how the story's going to be. You know more of the story than me.
Yeah, so
Galadriel's brother, is that a thing?
So this is what I pulled up an actual based on legitimate lore from Middle Earth. I brought up a super long biography of Galadriel, and I'm going to read a quick little blurb.
Okay.
All 4 of Galadriel's brothers were killed during the War of the Jewels between the elves and Morgoth, which that just kind of like how I said earlier, if they stay true to the lore, then Morgoth has to be a part of this show. And I know they're focusing on Sauron,
Yeah,
but
most people are saying Sauron.
But all of Galadriel's brothers were killed by Morgoth. So if Morgoth is not in this, then they've already deterred from the lore.
Okay.
And went through the First Age, blah 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 blah, and so they were both killed. So 2 of her brothers were killed during the Battle of Sudden Flame. So we'll see if
she
there's
does
some of
have
that
brothers
terminology.
she's got quite a
4
few brothers.
brothers.
Yeah, I didn't know anything about that.
Well, she has a long history. Now, I'll be honest, I've heard Tolkien geeks talk about how this show is going to be completely inaccurate because I can't confirm this for myself because I'm not entirely brushed up on all of Galadriel's history. But I've heard time and time again that Galadriel was never a warrior and she never led warriors.
Yeah.
She was more like an elder elf. She was an ancient. And so she was based more on her kind of ethereal spirituality and powers and foresight and the ability that she can speak into people's minds like we saw in Lord of the Rings.
I think I'm okay with, deviating from the book a little bit because the Silmarillion is more of history. It's not like a story, and it's harder to tell a show as a story with a history book.
Well, one thing this is not based on the Silmarillion.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
They're just trying not to contradict it, but I think they are. They're
If
going
they
to.
they go off, they take things from it, but they create their own story. But what I'm concerned about, and what I just think they need to be cautious with what they do because I feel like they're very sensitive with the fans. The Lord of the Rings fans are very strong and they can get upset easy because this is Tolkien we're talking about.
Tolkien.
He's like the best author. I don't even know how to describe him. What would you just say Tolkien is? He's like
the grandfather of storytelling.
the grandfather of storytelling. Yeah. But I am actually really excited because of this.
What
This
I'm
looks good.
I'm looking forward to is the story of the Harfoots and how they're going to fit into this.
Yeah.
Because there's not much historical accounts, and I actually on this channel I did a video called "The Difference Between Harfoots and Hobbits."
Yeah.
You can go watch that for a little bit of more of my thoughts. So I'm interested as to how they're going to bring them into this story since. There's not really a historical account of hobbits outside of what I explain in that video, and it's from third parties. So like men or elves or dwarves write in their history books about hobbits and the Falahides, the Harfoots, the Stewars. And so I'm interested to see how they're going to be incorporated. It does seem like in the last trailer they ended with this song it's like Wandering Way, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's actually a time period in Hobbit history that's called called the Wandering Day or the Wandering Age. So it seems like this is around the time where Harfoots specifically are migrating away from the base of the Misty Mountains, going over into the west, where they eventually end up in the Shire. So I'm curious to see what part they're going to play in this show. They're going to have to definitely take creative liberties with them.
Yes. And also, while you're talking about that, I'm also really excited. I would like to get some good songs in there. Tolkien took time to create some good songs in the books, and they don't have to be Tolkien originals, but I would like to hear another, Far Over.
Peter Jackson would have given us some Tolkien originals.
But I would like to hear some more of that, like some good, dwarf.
What about
dwarf
Ed Sheeran's
melody.
I See Fire?
Yeah. Well, if
That's
you
an
throw Ed
original.
Sheeran in there, I'll be happy.
That's an original.
But that's what I'm looking forward to. Looks good. I'm
Absolutely.
actually excited. We'll see in about a week, September 2nd.
So. Yeah, and if you guys want to see a bonus reaction video over on our Patreon, we do one of these a week. We have an extra reaction to the kind of behind the scenes and upcoming episodes trailer for House of the Dragon. And we also give a review of episode 1 on House of the Dragon over there on Patreon. So if that's interesting to you, go check out the link in the description.
And thanks for joining us on this reaction video. We'll see you next time.